Ronan, yes, whoa, musical intro, the whole bit. Yeah, nice to be here tonight. Okay. Everyone okay out there? Yeah, we have a lot of locals, we have some tourists. Any tourists out there? No tourists. Yo, cash register is ringing tonight. Well, whatever. Thank you very much for coming out and seeing us. So we hope to give you a good show. I'm Dale Levinson. I'm the Scotch. We have a musical background somewhere. And this is Jerusalem. Yeah, you guys having a good time here, right? You saw the big news of the week. I don't know, it didn't even make the local papers, but it was in the international papers. There's a group called the Lobby for the Jewish Values, right? You familiar with these guys? And they go around and in the restaurants that have in their windows or anywhere in the store, they have Christian signs, so they take away their kashrut, right? So it's like, it's kind of weird that they want to boycott these Jewish restaurants that are trying to cater to the Christian tourists, right? Well, I don't know about you, but if you got rid of all these Christian tourists and you got rid of Christmas, it would hurt a lot of Jewish retailers, right? I mean, this is like a real slap in the face for everyone involved, but this is the way they go. And of course, this is the way the Nazis started, but we don't want to go there either. And of course, there's Michael Bloomberg, who lights his very own Christmas tree each year in New York, you know. But okay, here in Jerusalem, it's a special kind of world, and we play by our own rules. Of course, over in Washington, they brought the White House Christmas tree in, right? You know, which was, of course, a regular tree, but snuck past security, not a big deal this day and age. And then, of course, Charles Schumer, right? Schumer from New York.
Yeah.
Schumer, right? Yeah, from New York, right? He brought the menorah and the Buick up to Capitol Hill. And anybody here going to Obama's Channuka party? Anybody? Yeah, one, two, no? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is kind of weird, right? He's having 400 people at his Hanukkah party. Okay, now Bush had 800 people. Okay, and so you might say, well, maybe this is just modesty in the whole bit. But of course, you know, Obama is just tone deaf. I mean, he had not long ago a birthday party for his dog, in which he had an edible veal doghouse, you know, as a present for a first-year birthday party. Anyway, this is not a man given to modesty, and of course, you know, Jews voted for Obama 4-1, right? I mean, nobody more than blacks voted for Obama like the Jews did, but he's still not picking up on them. I don't know what his problem is. Maybe he's remembering, I don't know if you all recall this, but when Clinton had a Hanukkah party, this girl's hair caught fire. Anybody remember this? Yeah, 6-year-old girl. Her hair caught fire. This isn't all that funny, but it's kind of mordant humor. Her hair caught fire, and Clinton, of course, patted it down. Well, this didn't go over well with the girl's mother, but whatever. He did put out the fire. And anybody here going to a Hanukkah party? Yeah? No? Oh, boy, what a lie. Is there any crowd out there? Anyway, out there in YouTube land? Anyway, no, we're not going to a Hanukkah party either. We save our parties for Pesach when we go to a matzah ball. Doesn't everybody go to matzah ball? Yeah, anyway, no, we're gonna. Me and the missus are gonna throw back a couple tall, wet ones. You know, rent some movies, maybe some of our favorite movies. I don't know, even the classic Jewish movies, Goy's Story, or The Hunchback of Temple Beth Israel, or you know, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know. We're gonna watch a couple movies. This is the way we get off on Hanukkah. Some of you are from America, right? So you know that here you don't feel Christmas at all, right? I mean, it's just nothing. I've been here whatever 30 years, right? But in America, it's a real defining kind of identity for Jews. You know, you have to sort of deal with the other all the time, and of course, Christmas is one of those elements, right? So, you know, Christmas is one day a year, you know, it's December 25th, you know, and it's a bloody paid holiday, you know, and you go out and eat Chinese food, you know, all these great artifacts that happen at Christmas, right? And, you know, when you are in America, or Jews in America don't really know when Hanukkah is, and, you know, they get like 37 calendars during the course of the year, but they only look at them when, you know, the goy at work asks them, you know, when is Hanukkah, and they don't want to look like a total idiot, so they pull up one of their calendars, and, you know, how do you spell Hanukkah? It's got at least 12 million spellings. But, of course, at least in Hanukkah, right, we celebrated lighting candles and not lighting all those Christmas lights out there, you know, so it's our sop to the liberal conscience. And then, of course, there's the issue of presents, right? That, Christmas is one day a year, and, Christian parents are just happy to deliver those presents on that one day. And, of course, Jewish parents, 8 days a year, well, they'll withhold the presents 8 days. No big deal. Guilt all around. But this year, the big story, of course, is at the Beit El Festival. I don't know how many of you know this. Festival is usually a Chanukah kind of holiday, and so in Beit El, which is a settlement, they had a new myth was born, right? Okay, what was that myth? And that was that they had this little urn that had a little bit of cement in it, okay? And the poor settlers were being pursued by these evil inspectors. And so it turned out that this little urn that was enough for a windowsill had enough cement for 8 Dunams of settlement. Now, is that not a heartwarming Jewish rendition of an old tale? Anyway, yeah, but it's tough out there. I mean, those poor settlers are just traumatized. I mean, even the little kids in the Gan, right? Their mothers are afraid. The kids are afraid to build sandcastles, right? Because those inspectors are going to come and knock them down, And of course, what does Bibi say? Well, 10 months, you get Chanukah in there, you get Pesach, you get a month of each, you get the 3 weeks before Independence Day, you get the Yom Zikaron, whatever, netto, maybe a month, they'll stop the building, But of course, our Bibi is the daily headlines, right? Is that what does he get for all this settler soldier grief? Nothing. Heartburn, slap in the face, the whole bit. And the related issue, of course, is the soldiers who are refusing to take people out of their settlement, right? So, whatever, these illegal settlements. Okay, so there's this Haredi unit, right, that unfurled their banner at their induction ceremony, but of course it was written in Yiddish, and nobody could read it, so that press didn't give it any play at all, And then there is a new hesder track. I don't know how much you guys know about the Israeli army, but they do this little sleight of hand so that religious types can do half the army and half study. Anyway, there's this new hesder track in which they spend half the time in hesder, and then they spend half the time in prison, because they're not going to abandon people. Okay, passes the time. But the really good news is that the right wing, they're going to pay these people not to pull settlers out of settlements. Okay, so this is just a brilliant idea, because for those soldiers not making the minimum wage, here they can easily supplement their income, spend the time in jail, and get an extra paycheck. I mean, it's just a classic Jewish way to make everybody happy. And then the story that blew over was at the Haredim and Intel, right? They came to an agreement, right? Everyone hear this? The Intel agreed that they would put on each chip, they're going to make a knot made on Shabbat, on each little chip. And the Haredim are happy, they're going to go home, right? And there were other aspects of the agreement. The Haredim finally agreed, yes, we'll send in some non-Jewish protesters during the week, so that, it won't be discrimination. And of course, the Haredim have written a new book, a new tale about Abba, right? Abba on Shabbat, eats his kugel, and he puts on his shtreimel, and he goes out to Intel. I mean, it's a perfect, everyone's happy with that kind of a solution. And then another big news piece this week was this guy who was originally identified as Aleph, right? I don't know how much you guys know about the Hebrew press here, but they are just really happy to hand out gag orders. The police ask for them, and the judges comply. So everyone goes by these names, okay? So there was this still alleged attacker who was in the chief of staff's employ, and he was known as Aleph, okay? And in fact, he's known as Aleph because his name came out at the end of the week. It was Erez Efrati, but for the longest time it was Aleph, okay? And of course, who are the famous Alephs in Israeli political discourse? There's Aleph from the president's house, and there's Aleph from Ministry of Tourism, the two rape victims, or alleged rape victims of Katzam. So anyway, they didn't like another Aleph on the scene, especially not an Aleph who was a perpetrator. Yeah.